Ah, good day. This is Enaa with you in the fight back. You'll have to excuse the drink. My voice is incredibly hoarse and tired from the previous night where I was at the Occupy Boston action, and there was so much chanting and I was coughing, and it's hard to talk without something nearby. It's kind of a badge of honor, and I'm kind of glad it happened, but my voice is going to be screwed up for a few days. But anyway, I told you that I was trying to do a lot more journalistic stuff, and I had this great opportunity Friday night to get together with some comrades, and we were going to have a meeting, but there's this whole Occupy Boston thing, and it had only been put together within the past week. When we had planned our meeting a week ago, it was like, okay, we're going to have our regular meeting next Friday, like we always do. But because of Wall Street and the protests there, Boston and other cities around the country are holding demonstrations, and we decided, okay, we're going to hold our meeting, as it were, in Boston. So there were 5 of us total there, and this is kind of just an introduction, kind of a morning after report. I haven't had much sleep since then because there's just so much adrenaline. You'll crash later on, but it was a great demonstration, and you can tell a lot about who on the left is active by who's showing up to these things, depending if they have a presence in the area. And there were when you watch the videos that are coming up later today, and hopefully all by today, you'll see some snapshots with some music of Working Class Hero, the Green Day version, which I'm sorry to purist fans of John Lennon, but I like the Green Day version better. You actually get to see some of the General Assembly with the making decisions, showing hand signals that work, and this is kind of to show you like this great democracy in action. You'll get to see, I believe, 5 or 6 interviews with some diverse people there. Some whom are calling for revolution, some whom are not, and a lot of people there haven't read all 3 volumes of Das Kapital like some people have. But that doesn't matter. You need the people who've read Das Kapital as much as you need the people who haven't, believe me. But so you get that, and you'll also have some snippets of a march that we had around parts of the city. It went on for maybe about half an hour or 45 minutes, and like I said, of course, and it was. So again, about 1,000 to 1,500 people showed up, and with a lot of these events, you get all sorts of people coming out. You get definitely the advanced people, people who are politically active, and by politically active, advanced, I'm obviously referring to socialists and communists. And you get people there for a variety of reasons. My brother lost his job, or I can't find work. I'm sick of the corruption. I'm sick of the bailouts. I'm sick of the wars, Obama betrayed us, or whatnot. You have people there who are, maybe there for religious reasons. We had some very strange people. There were some Ron Paul supporters, some people from the Venus Project. I don't know what that is, so I can't comment beyond what I've said. And so they were there. And we also had with the socialist groups, since I know my viewers will want to know, in the Boston area, there's a fair smattering of groups. We had people from the Socialist Party show up, Socialist Alternative, International Socialist Organization, the one member of the Revolutionary Communist Party who's like everywhere in Boston. I've seen him handing out leaflets. Party for Socialism and Liberation, the Industrial Workers of the World, and kind of some scattered groups there. And my old organization, Freedom Road Socialist Organization, Left Refoundation, there's one member I'm friendly with. He wasn't in the organization at the same time as me. He joined like after I left, and he was there, but the rest of their group in the Boston area did not show up. So he came. There was really no one from the Communist Party or the Democratic Socialists. They might have been there, but I didn't see them, and they weren't flaunting their banners, as it were. And so we had a pretty good turnout, and people were really psyched up. You can see that from the various footage. And, you know, I was psyched up too, so much so that I haven't had much sleep, and my voice is killing me. This isn't alcohol, it's cranberry juice. And it was just incredible to see that turnout, and you get a real sense of people are angry at corruption, greed, you know, capitalism, and you can see that in some of the interviews I gave as well. And you can really see, like, when you read history books about communist revolutions or mass popular movements of any sort, for instance, you read about the Soviets and how disorganized they were. There's all these committees, and people are going back and forth, and you may not be able to find who's who. And it was definitely like that last night, because I was in one of the committees, and they're like, we need someone to take notes. Who wants to take notes? And foolishly, I raised my hand, so I end up being the note taker. And I get shuffled around. I got to report to this person that we're having an action that's going to happen at set time. And it was beautiful chaos. It was just wonderful to see that type of democracy in action. You know, we're supposedly this well-organized, oiled machine, the revolutionary left, and it was just, you know, it was just this wonderful work in progress, as it were. You know, it's like watching a painter in his workshop, or a sausage factory, and it was pretty fun. You know, so it was probably one of the larger actions I've been to, you know, with probably 1,000 people. And I was there with self-identified communists and Maoists, and it was just so much fun. And one of them let me borrow his camcorder, so that's why the video is going to be such high quality, because I normally just record on my computer's webcam, which isn't that good, but it does get my point across. So I'm graciously going to thank him on beforehand for letting me borrow this. But the great thing about events like these, especially, you can tell if there's like a groundswell of people and movements, that you get, you know, people are friendly, people are talkative. I met a friend from high school. I'm going to just call you out, Eric. I didn't know you were left. It was just nice to see you, nice to talk to you. Remembered me. He looked so much different. He was a really cool guy, and I was just so glad, you know. Like, I thought I was the only person in high school who was like that. I was the one throwing hammers and sickles on everything, and that was fun. I met this awesome comrade from Argentina, because I brought my Che Guevara flag, and I was getting people coming around me, and there were some people actually there who had the "Don't Tread on Me" flags, that, like the Tea Party, but they were trying to reclaim them for the movement. I just got ticked off, because I've just written off those type of flags, and they come past me. I'm like, show a real flag, and I was showing my Che Guevara flag. And that was kind of fun. And you have people, I don't know who Che is. You know, I get to explain who Che is. You know, raising consciousness is so much fun. And I met a comrade from Spain. That was awesome. And, you know, we were talking about the Civil War and the recent movements in Spain. It was so cool, you know. And it was just like this smattering of internationalism right there. You know, it didn't matter if you were black, white, a legal immigrant, or a non-documented immigrant, or whatever it was, or you were an American citizen, or you're from Spain. You were welcome there, and it was just so cool. And you know, a lot can be said about the movement itself, this Occupy Boston. It's going on now, and I couldn't stay the night. Most people couldn't. There were maybe about, I would definitely say less than 20, probably less than 10% who stayed the night. The marches that did happen at night, the cops didn't, as far as I know, they didn't arrest anybody. There was a march earlier in the day where people did get arrested. There were some chants. and you can see them on the chant or the march video, and those were pretty cool. And you'll have to excuse the wobbliness and the shakiness of the camcorders. Like the first time, like I have a camcorder at a demonstration, and I can interview people, and it's really fun because I'm trying to figure out all the settings, and I'm still trying to figure out all the settings. I gotta give this back to my comrade when we'll meet again. So that was really cool. And so just interviewing people, the process, I wasn't sure how the hell to do it. I'm like, I want to interview people, because originally I was just going to show up there and take notes and do a video. Then I remember my comrade said he had a camcorder, and I called him like, hey, can you bring your camcorder to this demonstration so we can have a recording? And I'm like, and he's like, yeah, I'll do that. And you know, he just let me roll with it, and it was awesome. So I just go around and I'm like, who wants to tell the world why you're here in Boston? And I get some people to show up. And I thought pretty much all the interviews came out very well. I had to cut things short at times because both the batteries were low, and it was hard to find a power cord, you know, or a plug to plug it in and recharge. I remember I found one by a payphone, one of the few that have to be left in the world, and I'm just guarding it jealously just so I can get enough juice in the battery so I can go back and record some more. So that's why a lot of the clips are relatively short. But it was a great time. And the movement itself, you can say, is amorphous. There definitely some, Comrade was saying, you know, there's not a lot of concrete demands, that, you know, there may be some reformists there. But other comrades were saying, you know, you really got people fired up. You like a lot of our communist slogans were definitely catching on. A lot of the real hardcore left-wing militancy really struck a chord with people. And it was, you know, so I was of course pushing, you know, for the more militant slogans. And there was at one point towards the end of the march that you'll see on the video, the crowd had actually surrounded the Boston Federal Reserve, and there were questions about whether they were going to actually occupy it because the cops were there. Most people didn't really want to, and it didn't, to my knowledge, it didn't happen because it would have just been foolish and like a stupid provocation in my view, and I'm just speaking for myself here. And none of the people I was with actually stayed the night, but there are people camped out there, and there are actions happening either now or in the fairly short term in other cities across the United States. But I just wanted to kind of give you my after report before I crash, and just because I want to get these videos up like ASAP. And my just meeting up with comrades and just like seeing us all in action. Like one comrade is out there, you know, suddenly he is just picking up, like, okay, we're gonna have this march, let's go, and you know, everyone goes. We have other comrades who are just dancing. We have others who you can just see the fire when they chant. One comrade who, we'll call him Clark Kent, because he's like when he gets into communist mode, he like can find like every communist, it seems, in New England, and he can just really get them united. He can get them talking. It's like, I just don't have that type of touch with people. It's just incredible. You know, I'm there and I'm actually getting people to talk to me on an interview. I'm like, I picked the wrong major in school, man. I should not have majored in history. I should have majored in journalism, but whatever. And you know, that was just awesome just to see that. And you know, you get just conversations with people. There were groups out there selling their literature and all that. And, you know, I got this cool Marx was right pin, which he was and he is. So thank you, Socialist Alternative. That's a call out to you. You know, last one they had too. I'm just psyched about that. But in general, it was a good time. It remains to be seen. Obviously, when you're at a movement like that and people are really fired up, you're just like, you're chanting, your voice goes hoarse, and you know, you're just having a great time. And you know, it remains to be seen if the movement will go anywhere, if it will develop. But you definitely saw, at least in my opinion, and that there was definitely, like, people were receptive to, like, a lot of what I would have to say or my comrades would have to say. You know, there was there was really no hardcore red baiting. I mean, to my knowledge, even the Ron Paul people weren't shouting at the communists and the socialists. But it was, you know, it was a good time, and I just really wanted to give this after report because, and a kind of a necessary introduction. So I hope you appreciate the videos. I hope you enjoy them. I hope to go again, depending on how long the demonstration lasts, the occupation in Boston. But logistically, it's kind of hard to make that commute at times. So, and you know, money-wise, it's tight. I'd actually had some work yesterday. I went there after like an 8-hour day. So I'm like, oh, I don't want, you know, you want to go home and crash after working. But I went, obviously, and had a good time, as I've said. And everything. And it's just I'd like to go again, but like I said, logistically, it's going to be difficult. Finding time. I don't know what my work schedule is next week. I almost never know my work schedule in advance. But I plan on going again, and hopefully before I give this camcorder back. And just to let you know, and hopefully these reports will keep coming. I encourage you, my viewers, people who may see this for the first time, to please show your videos if you were at Boston, or if you were in Portland or New Orleans or wherever there are Occupy demonstrations. I know a comrade sent me from London that in a few weeks there's going to be an occupation of the London Stock Exchange. That's going to be majorly cool. And I just want to see this, you know, because, you know, we all know the bourgeois press is going to distort it. They're not going to tell the truth. I tried to show you as raw, as unedited footage as I could. I'm very new to this. You can probably tell from how I was doing it. But it was it was really like history in the making. And as a historian, that's really fun. So I don't believe I have anything else left to say to you, except to stay strong in the struggle, support where you can, and to just spread the word and raise people's consciousness, because Marx was right. Capitalism is the problem. Communism is the solution. This is Enaa saying until next time.